Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today, I'm going to be doing a VOD review of myself playing a professional solo scrim. This was in the Mayhem Elite server, and this was me just basically playing a normal scrim. I was just, I just thought that I did some stuff really well here, and I also thought that I could just do a bunch of other stuff. And yes, this video will be unedited, so yeah, that's just another thing. Okay, so getting right into it, you guys can see that it is basically like the beginning of endgame. And I am just, chilling around here. And basically, as you guys can see, the zone pulls in on, kind of near authority. And obviously I didn't get, fourth zone. So, I'm just rotating. And I always like to go up 2 layers because I never like to be on low ground because that's where all the psychos are oftentimes. And basically you guys can see that as I'm looking through this cone, you guys can basically just see that I'm trying to, expand, just do some stuff. And the reason I was expanding is because I didn't want to be too close to the congested side. I kind of wanted to be on, congested side and dead side. And here I was just trying to get some tags because there's 40 people left roughly. And this was actually a strict FNCS practice one, so it had no zone rules or anything. So yeah, if I speed it up, you guys can basically see blah blah blah. Nothing really interesting happens until actually, I'm pretty sure that no, not around here. So yeah, around here, what I do is I hear those 2 guys below me fighting. And basically I have a harpoon. Actually, let me tell you guys my loadout. So I have a purple scar, a blue charge, a harpoon with 10 shots, a 3 big pots, and 6 minis. So basically, yeah. So I hear these guys fighting, and I'm like, oh, bro, I need the mats. Because right now I used a lot of brick to expand. So I'm like, okay, let me get a refresh on mats. And I basically break that, and I just take my harpoon, and I get the floppers, get all the mats and stuff. And I pick up the floppers. So then going on, you guys can see eventually I go and I try to shoot at this guy. And I unfortunately don't get the kill, even though they're both 1 HP. And then all these mats, I harpoon basically all of them because just for, future use. And as you guys can see, once I'm, I continue harpooning it and stuff. And then basically what happens here is you guys can see half and half circle gets pulled over here. And I'm thinking, okay, I have all of this stuff over here. Let me transport all my mats over there, and I'm going to expand a lot so that because I have, like, a bunch of extra mats. So I'm like, okay, blah, 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 blah. So I go over there, right? I drop all my mats. Go back. And then I pick up all the mats. And a recommendation that I have for you guys is every single time you either kill someone or you get mats from somewhere, and you have a lot of extra mats, always use all of the extra mats to just expand your builds, because not only will it reinforce your structures, it'll also give you a lot of piece control in endgame. So if the circle's coming back your direction, suppose, then, it'll be a lot easier for you to rotate. So I drop all my stuff there, and then I'm like, I was debating whether to drop the harpoon for these crash pads, and I think that I did, but I don't remember. Because this was before the FNCS tournament. So as you guys can see, I'm expanding upwards here. And basically that's just because I really want to, make all those mats, like put them to good use, And I expand upwards one more because I have a lot of extra brick and metal and basically everything. So, And I see this guy, Zero Chain. This guy is kind of stupid and he's just really trying to take my wall. He's probably low on mats or something, but he's chilling on health, so I don't really know. He's trying to take my wall. And obviously he's unable to because I'm on 0 ping. But I'm not on 0 ping, by the way. So I see here that first moving is going my way. So I'm like, okay, great. I have zone. And I know that I have a bunch of extra mats down there and also a bunch of extra crash pads. So, and right here, I'm scouting out the area of where I'm going to put down my crash pad. And by the way, I also have a launch pad. But right here, I'm scouting at the area where I'm going to put my crash pad. So when I bounce to moving zone, like nothing's blocking it, I'm like, okay, perfect. So I drop down, and right here, basically, zone starts moving. This guy is trying to take my wall. He doesn't. Zone starts moving, and I'm like, okay, let me throw the crash pad, pick up my harpoon, and then I start bouncing. I didn't really plan for that, but I guess it was actually pretty good because, as you guys can see, if I go into drone free right here, basically the entire lobby is on this side of the zone, and like only like 5 or 6 people are on this side. So, and I was gonna originally end up like over here if I use that crash pad in a weird way, right? But it bounced me the other way, and I was like, okay, this is fine. I guess I wasn't gonna make, like waste all my mats going over there, because I knew that I was on dead side. Oh, there we go. Okay. So I'm just rotating here, doing my thing. And one thing that a lot of players do is sometimes I'll see that they will, they'll really like to overbuild when they're tarping the zone. And I know that there's nobody like that can see me, nobody that has angles on me from here, except for maybe this guy. But this guy's tarping the opposite way, which I saw when I was tarping. And I was like, okay, let me save mats and just do a 2-layer tarp, So I keep tarping, and eventually, right here this is so important, especially if zone goes uphill. You guys can see that zone does go uphill slightly. Like, yeah, basically. And the guy on height is, like, going to be very, very high compared to basically everyone else. So, I was like, okay, I gotta get up. So, if you guys see here, that's me. Oh, wait, it's lagging. Okay, that's me. So, I keep trying to get up, I'm like, okay, let me keep getting up. Right? And then I think I went up even another layer here, too. Yeah, I went up another one. And then I was like, okay, now I was feeling it here. I had the perfect layer right here. And I was like, okay, this is perfect. Because, I mean, there's no dead side here except for the front of zone. And if I run over there, I would pretty much either get server focus or I would just be chilling. But I don't want to really take that risk. So I was like, okay, let me play backside of zone. So I was like, okay, I'm going to play backside. And right here, I wasn't really looking for a refresh because I had, like, I think 1,000 mats. And I was like, okay, I'm chilling pretty hard. And I heard, at this point, I heard Shockwave, and I was like, okay, I really got to keep an eye out for that guy. So I was like, all right, I am going to chill. And luckily, very, very luckily, I did get zone here. And I was like, okay, so I'm basically just going to rotate using old builds, because a bunch of people, like, were rotating from downwards, upwards, So I was like, all right. So basically, let me go back to gameplay. I was like, all right. And actually here, I saw that there was a guy in zone, but I didn't know if he was like AFK or if he was like lagging out or something. So I just killed him, but he wasn't, and I got the kill. Just like, I guess if it was a real tournament, it would be for some points, but whatever. And I was like, all right, I gotta rotate. Let's go. So I started to rotate here. What I should have done instead is I should have just gone out and put a pad here, but I would have like not taken an extra tick. All right, wait, did I even take a tick here? Yeah, I did. And here, I was, when I padded, well, see, whenever I pad, I feel like it's always my duty to look at height and see, like, if they're in shambles, like, how, what they have, how high they are exactly. So I was like, okay, this is freaking perfect. Like, I'm, like, ready to take height. So what happens here is I go behind because don't forget, I have those 3 flops. And he looks at me and he's like, okay, I'm going to take it. And then he decides not to take it, So right here, as you guys can see, I have height. And I played this kind of safe because I didn't really need a refresh, like, through all of this. So I was like, okay, let me just, keep height. And I kept applying pressure, slowly but surely. And I actually got stuck on my own cone. I kept applying pressure, though, for sure. But my main goal here was I was really high up, so I was like, okay, let me drop down a bit. And I was actually at, like, I think 500 mats here. And I was really scared that Shockwave and Grapple were going to come and try and take height. So, I'm just, like, looking around. I'm like, okay, where is everybody? And I see a bunch of people, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to try to apply a pressure. And I kept seeing Grapple and Shockwave trying to come up to height. So, And one thing that you guys want to make sure is when you're on height, keep constantly applying pressure to the Shockwave and Grapple people. Because if you don't, they're going to take height, either from behind or from in front. So, I'm just like, okay, that's Grapple, by the way. Shockwave was like a gold Midas skin. I don't know what he was doing. And very luckily here, I got zone, like, going perfectly backwards. So I don't need to use any mats here. I was pretty low on mats. I was like 100 or 200 mats. So right here, I still had a harpoon with 5 shots. So I was ideally looking for some loot to harpoon. And I kept dropping my guns to reload. It keeps going. I'm going to speed it up a little bit. Blah, blah, blah. I'm just like, basically, oh, actually, here. So, if you guys see, let me go back, like, a couple seconds, like 6 seconds. So, here, I was on height, right? And, I'm chilling, right? But then, Shockwave guy I didn't notice, but he harpooned me. I mean, he not harpooned me. He shockwaved me out of zone. But I had like a fair amount of builds. I think now I have like 100 left, and basically I'm just flopping. The shockwave guy just drops down for some. He gets to refresh it though. But yeah, basically now I'm just trying to connect. That was just a little bit lag. And here I'm like, okay, I need to refresh quick. So now you guys might be able to see I'm looking on the edges of zone for like any amount of loot. And I was just looking around. I'm like, oh, is there any loot under any builds or anything? And that's why I had my harpoon out. And especially here, I feel like one thing that I could have done better, in all honesty, was pay more attention to where my, who was trying to take height from me. So this guy eventually took height from me, and I was like, all right, well, I got to just drop down then. So I dropped down, covered my head, and basically here I'm on no mats. I have no mats left. And I was constantly just looking through these builds for some mats to find, and I was kind of in shambles here. I mean, I'm good on health, and I was just trying to cover my head at all costs, from height. But here, as you guys can see, I just dropped down a bit more, and I do find some extra mats lying around so I can harpoon. So I harpoon all these mats, and I get like 700 mats here, and I'm like, okay, now I'm chilling. But I was planning to take height, but I realized that height has a scar, and height's really high. Like I'll have to use like almost 700, 600 on my mats just to take height from this guy, because this guy had really good loot and really good health, as you guys can see. So I dropped down, and this guy is constantly applying pressure to me. And right here, I was trying to make like a flopper play or something, but I was like, nah. At the last minute, I was like, no, because the two guys on low ground are fighting, and then there's one on height. And right here, the two guys on low ground are really, really deep in zone. So I'm not necessarily worried about them, trying to basically find a way to, how do I say this? Kill me here. And I could see here, as you guys can see, let me go to drone free. Oh, what the hell? Let me just speed this up. As you guys can see here, the guy in zone is extremely, extremely low. I'm slowly taking storm ticks too. And basically what happens is, I kill this, this guy dies to this guy. And I hit that guy 136, finish it off with a scar. And that's the game, I'm just chilling, I'm deciding to free build. And yeah, that's the game, boys. Yeah, that's the game. Yeah, but anyway, if you guys did enjoy this VOD review, this is my first VOD review, please drop a like and let me know in the comment section if you guys want to see more, if this was helpful to you, or if this helped you improve your Scrim experience in any way. But at the end of it, I got about, I think I got 2 kills. I was playing really passive this game. I got 2 kills and the win, So in a real game, this would have been max placement, 2 kills and a win. So yeah. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, blah, 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 all that stuff I said before. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.